Hello. Happy Monday. If you're coming from last week's episode, yes, I am in the same spot. And I guess I don't really have to recap that because you theoretically have watched it. Today, I'm in Brooklyn, and not much to report there actually. Just did work, sent out invoices, finished all pending shoots, edits, done with those. Watered my plants. Yeah, I know. I guess this is the longest I've just been home. I meant to be asleep by 9:30, if not 10. I think it's like 10:30 now, and I'm eating. I'm still really trying to figure out the cadence of balancing the 3 big chunks of my life right now as it relates to work. And that's photo workshop, which takes up so much time, especially because like I'm like kind of the lead. I am the lead producer, so that, and that's no pay intentionally. My part-time job, which is kind of a lot. I've been enjoying it, but I just feel I haven't really been able to give my all yet because I'm still trying to, again, figure out how to balance everything. And then my photo job, how I pay rent. So still trying to figure out like how to structure each day, because I can't be like, oh, this day I'm gonna work on this thing. I think that's what I was trying to do. It doesn't work that way, especially. Yeah, it just doesn't work that way. I have to work on each of those each day. I can't like do Mondays for my photography, Tuesdays for part-time. Like I have to like actively do a little bit of it every single day. So what I'm gonna try and do tomorrow, because I was hoping to be up by 6, is spend like 6 to 9. I also haven't done Artist Way. I'm 2 weeks behind at this point, I guess. Spend 6 to 9 a.m. locked into my part-time job. So that's like done before everyone else logs on. Then 9 to 11 doing photo workshop, or 9 to noon doing photo workshop stuff. Then break, take a rest, nap, eat, read, like chill from like 12 to 2, 12 to 3. Then do photography related stuff from 3 to like 6. So basically trying to do 3-hour chunks and building in, because I ideally would like my mornings before 9 a.m. to be not doing work. Like I used to have a little slow morning, but what I've realized is that I cannot be present and enjoy if in the back of my head I'm thinking about, oh my gosh, what are the multiple inboxes that I'm managing look like? Has this person reached back out? Like, hey, this is what I have to do today. Like, I just need to knock out some of it. So if I'm able to knock out 2 things that require other people's, like I'm working with other people versus like my photo workshop, it's my photography job is just me, you know what I mean? So it's less pressure versus like the other stuff is like, hey, have you sent this email? Are you doing this? What's the update on this? I just want to knock those out in the morning. I still understand that I'm gonna have to check things for those later on in the day, but like the priority of those stuff in the morning. So I think that's what I want to try this week. I think that also works well because a lot of gigs that I have for photography this week, almost, I think like 3 or 4 days this week I have photography gigs are in the evenings. So I think it works well to make sure that I knock stuff out for workshop and at part-time in the morning. So like that's at least done to some extent for the day. Then I rest, have midday rest, laptop, screen break. Then do that. Yeah, I'm hoping I'm hoping to cut down, part of the strategy work that I'm doing is to cut down doing like these small gigs that take up a lot of time and aren't that high energy, low reward. And it's also not what I want to be doing. And really focusing on proof of concept for my personal project at the end of this month. That is the goal that my strategist and I have decided on, like assistant strategist and assistant producer. So and now that I have a part-time job to supplement more money, I can say no to more things, which I'm excited about. So I'm hoping that June is lighter. My brother theoretically is coming to New York for 2 weeks, which is gonna be expensive, but I'm excited about. But that will kind of also be pretty busy now that I think about it. So I kind of really need to lock in the next week and a half before he's here for a little bit. So really gonna just try this out, at least for the next 2-3 days. And then pivot and like kind of try and have some semblance of a routine solidified by next week. So that when he comes, I'm like a little maybe more structured. No clue. Anyway, those are my thoughts. Thankfully tomorrow I don't have to leave my apartment. Just have one meeting. So I'm looking forward to not having that versus Wednesday. I do have a shoot. Thursday I've got a shoot. Friday I've got a shoot. Saturday I've got a shoot. Sunday I've got a hike, so content shoot. Monday I may have a shoot. I don't know. Oh no, Monday I'm chilling. Tuesday I think is when I fly to North Carolina to pick up my brother. So it's... So actually I kind of have to do grocery shopping tomorrow now that I think about it, or else I'm fucked. I cannot do it any other day. Unless I do it Wednesday morning. We'll do it for Wednesday morning. I don't want to leave the apartment tomorrow. So that's my life. Like I said in the last video, I'm not proud of the fact that I'm this busy and not having time to live the life that I want to live. It's very, very easy to lose sight of stuff. I just think I was super more on track earlier this year in terms of like embodying the life that I want and implementing that and living in that way. And then I was explaining this to when I had a meeting last week with the strategist. I was like, I'm so quickly like, I wouldn't say it's ADHD, but I just like, if something comes up to my plate and someone's like, oh, this is a great idea, you should do this, or I have the idea for something, I will like drop what I was working on, no matter how long I was working on it, and like work on the new thing. And then the other thing just kind of goes on the wayside. And that happens like every 3 days, if not every 2 weeks. So I think having like strategy / accountable person with a specific project will keep me focused. And this photo workshop is just taking so much time to produce, and I'm not even doing it to the extent that I want to be ideally doing it. Like, I'm stretched thin on the 3 aspects of my life, work-wise. And I think I'm managing pretty well, but I don't know if I'm living my personal life the way I want to. The way I envision it. I'm so happy. I like, thankfully, see friends often, prioritize friends. I haven't been able to see family in a minute, but I'll see them this month. But like for myself, I miss my slow morning. I haven't journaled with Artist Way in a week and a half. My plants were like dying, so I just watered them today. I haven't been doing my curriculum or skill building stuff. I haven't been on a run. Yeah, so it's a little like I'm just trying to give myself grace, and better 6 months in that I'm figuring things out and like having this moment than like 2 years in and being like, wow, you look up and realize, oh my gosh, life went by and I was so nose down working. I do enjoy every single thing that I do, thankfully, and every single thing that I'm doing has meaning and I think value. I mean, I guess everything does, but like contribution that I value to the world. So that is like huge. Like I would prefer feeling the stress and imbalance that I'm feeling now with what I'm doing now versus what I was doing before in corporate. That was not a good feeling to feel when I was in corporate, because I was like, this doesn't even add any value to the world too. So why am I really here? Versus this is like, okay, it's just, I'm just trying to like figure out how to have enough hours in a day. And also not burn myself out, because I can see that happening. I'm grateful for the people in my life who are patient, and really, really grateful for my boyfriend. Sometimes I'm like, and this is, I don't know if I've said this before, this is my first relationship. They take a lot of work in a good way. As any relationship does, it takes work, right, to sustain. It takes a lot of work, and it's work I'm not familiar with, and it's like, you gotta really prioritize somebody else in a different way than you maybe would prioritize, like, passive people in your life, I guess. So sometimes I'm like, yeah, I could probably get more stuff done if I wasn't in a relationship, but I would have lost my sanity a long time ago. Like, being with him is really grounding and like forces me to be present. And he's just like such a joy. I said it from the get-go when we started dating. I was like, you need to add to my life, because I have everything that I want and everything that I need. I genuinely don't need a man, and I do not need a relationship. I do not have the time for drama. Anything, the moment anything is a minor inconvenience, you're out. And he's taken that and ran with it. He has added in so many different ways, and I think that's what's keeping me sane, honestly. Because even before, I've always just had workaholic tendencies, and like with friends, it's easier for me to withdraw. I think you don't have like the level of, I don't want to make it seem like my romantic relationship is higher value than my friendships. Absolutely not. They're like equally placed, if not friendship more so. But there's just a different like cadence of checking in and spending time that you have with someone you're in a relationship with. Like we're talking every single day. We're like calling probably every day. I see him the most outside of my roommate. Honestly, I see my roommate less just because I'm in and out of the apartment so much, and he's also traveling a lot for work. So just by nature of that, I see him more. Yeah, I really am trying to be cognizant of like, okay, try not to think of work or like talk about work in this moment, which is really hard for me, who especially loves what I'm doing. But I definitely have everything to keep me sane, because I think I would have burned out a long time ago. The time that we spend together, I really just, like I said, just try to like be present, and that thankfully takes me away from what I do all the time, which is good. So grateful for him, grateful for friends, who also just like, I see friends like at least once, twice a week, which is so lovely. Again, just like pull you out, and like I really try to be present when I'm with them. Because like life could end tomorrow. None of this shit will matter, you know? You had no one to share it with. So that's today's update. Definitely will be more consistent with here. This weekend was just a lot. Last weekend, I don't know when this will be up. Hopefully I catch up. Yeah, hoping to prioritize at least maybe Wednesday or Thursday to have the past 2 weeks up. But yeah. So feeling kind of like, chicken with the head cut off, but in a good way. But like it could like separate itself. It could be very bad, very quick. So this feels like a canon event, honestly. Any freelancer thing, blog, whatever you read, this is like a canon experience that they all seem to have. I've been deep in a lot of like Substacks and blogs and LinkedIn. My LinkedIn algorithm has figured things out, so I'm subscribing to things left and right and reading some really, really good blogs. Shout out to people for being yappers and transparent like me, because that shit's really helpful. So yeah, it seems to just be a canon event, and like it's really cool to be able to identify that consistency among a bunch of different people's journeys, so that I can learn from it too, and not just like learn a hard lesson by living it, you know? Anyway, My pizza's now cold and it's probably midnight. So there goes my 6 a.m. wake up, but we'll see how tomorrow goes. I am optimistic. I'm feeling good. I'm proud of you. I think these are great problems to have. There are very clear solutions. It's just gonna take some time to get there. I was asleep and then I woke up. I was like, oh, I forgot to do this. I still haven't posted the videos, so I don't know when this will get up. Today, I slept in. Wasn't able to execute the plan that I had talked about yesterday. I like how I wanted to break up my day, but because I didn't have any editing stuff to do, I was able to just focus on part-time job and photo workshop, and like a personal task. So that was good, except I just kind of like was on my laptop all day. I wanted to go on a walk, but that didn't happen. I did cook a meal today for the first time in like 2 weeks. Made some pasta. That's really all I have able to do in my fridge. Tomorrow is, I've got to go to the store and I have to do a shoot both for a client and then the space I ended up booking. I didn't realize it was a 2-hour minimum and like the client had already sent their portion of the booking fee and like yada yada. I was like, whatever. So I texted some friends. I was like, hey, do you want to get headshots? And like chip in what you want, you know? And they said yes. So I think there's like 6 of them coming. And then I'm gonna come home around like 7, and I would prefer to just edit everyone's photos and send that night because like I just want to be done with it. Frustrated today, really frustrated actually. I just with the workshop that I'm planning, there's not equal weight being held for tasks and like getting things done. And my life since starting the part-time job has not been balanced. There's no harmony at all. And there's just a lot of handover happening in the part-time job. I'm streamlining a lot of stuff because things are like really a mess kind of internally in terms of like workflows, which seems to be scenarios I keep getting dropped into. I've yet to ever get dropped into a job where they have like a workflow that makes sense. And yes, so that's taking up a lot of time, even though there's only a specific amount of hours I work each week. I think I said this before, it's not like I can do like 8 hours in one day, you know, like, and then like done. It's stuff that requires a little bit of daily work every single day. And especially just in the beginning, it's just going to take some time. Hopefully in like by the end of this month, things will be streamlined and like will be easier to plan. That being said, I am stretched out super thin. I'm stretched out super thin mentally and physically and emotionally with photo work, gig work, trying to make rent, and with the part-time job and this photo workshop. And something has to drop. Like, whether I want to or not, something has to go. I am decreasing the amount of gigs that I do by the nature of graduation season ending, but also I just don't see value anymore in running around the city doing small paying gigs. So I have my last small paying gig this week and then I'm done. Need to realign like positioning and how I can get higher paying gigs for more quality work that's more aligned with what I actually want to do and what I have expertise in. And I'm not dropping my foot in my part-time job because I love the work that I do and I get paid for it and it's like consistent income and you know I'm not gonna just drop it. So that leaves the photo workshop and I'm at a point where I'm considering dropping, which I really, really don't want to do. One, it's my brainchild. I'm the one who came up with the idea. I'm the one who's been leading the production on all of it. It's like, you know, the community work and everything that I'm pulling from. There are people who are excited about it, who can strongly benefit from it. And like, I want that to be a thing for sure. But something has to change because I cannot handle the level of work that is required to make sure that this goes off and be the only person that is actually executing on stuff. Because that itself is a part-time job. Like, that itself is a job. the production on all the stuff. The emailing, the coordinating, the back end things, the prepping, like so many things. And that's not paid, which I don't want it to be paid. The purpose of it is not to be paid. But, like, like I'm spending hours every single day, 7 days a week, working on it. And yeah, I'm just at a point where I'm like, I can't keep doing this. So either we need to bring more people on to help, or work needs to be followed through and divided more evenly, or the timeline needs to be stretched over more time, which I don't want to do because I want it to end as soon as quickly, honestly. I can't wait till October, which is when this all over. Yeah, something's gotta go, and that's the only one that can go, because my photo work I'm not dropping, and I need that to pay rent. My part-time job not dropping, I need that to pay rent, and this isn't doing anything for me in terms of, like, it fulfills me, but, like, it's now not fulfilling me anymore, because I'm so stretched in. If that was the only thing I was doing, or if it was just photo work and this, then it'd be a different story, which was what that was the case earlier this year. So yeah, so I'm frustrated, I'm annoyed, I'm tired, I'm burnt out. I did express finally, I just think, like, I held a lot in terms of my frustrations and concerns of the fact that I am doing 95% of the work. And I finally expressed them today in a voice memo. And I'm giving myself tomorrow not to think about the workshop and not to do anything for it. Like, I just need a break. If it burns, it falls, it fails, it's not on me. Like, I just can't stretch myself like this. So, yeah. But I am excited because tomorrow I am meeting with another person who reached out to me about potentially influencer or virtual assistant helping. She sent her resume unprompted, which I loved, and I think financially I'm just kind of tied and constricted with the person that I'm already going to be working with, who I'm meeting with on Friday for us to start our first strategy session, I believe. So I don't know, like, what or when I can work with this person tomorrow. But first I have to see if there's even a fit, if there's alignment, how that works. So we'll see. But yeah, even just with time, like, I haven't had the time to, like, reposition myself or work on things that I need to be working on, like my LLC, you know, updating my website to reflect what I actually want to be doing, sending pitches, working on Studio Roots, working on other projects that I wanted to work on, like, none of it, you know? So yeah, I'm just like, this can't happen. For what? Because there's really no, like, it's like kind of thankless work with the workshop, and I'm not getting the credit. Primarily it's the hosting organization that is. So it's like I'm not really benefiting from any of this. I guess if I strategically go about it, I can. But there's no benefit from it besides just, like, the positivity and good feeling of doing this for the community, which in a normal scenario would be enough for me, and I love doing that, and I want to always be doing that. But again, there's a point. You can't provide for anybody if you have nothing in your cup. So yeah, I booked my brother's flights, so he'll be here for 2 weeks. I'm really excited, and I think that will really, like, be like, hey, I am stepping back because I need to spend time with my family. It's very critical for me to be spending time with my family, and especially him. Like, that's why I'm bringing him here. So I will be stepping back. If things don't get done, then they don't get done. Yeah. So that's how I'm feeling today. Hopefully change will come about from the message that I sent. there's no hard feelings in terms of like who I'm working with. There's always love. I think it's just this challenge of working with friends. And yeah, I think there's just a lot to be said about that scenario. But for the record, there's no hate, there's no love, there's no hate, there's no like, I'm not sharing this to like bad mouth or anything, but it's how I'm feeling and it's my reality. And if you are also stretching yourself thin, or there's no equal weight in work that you're with people or a group or a person you're collaborating with, like, don't wait as long as I did to share how you're feeling. And especially if you're a woman, like, don't keep doing the work without making sure that you have the support that you need, because there's no need to be doing all that. And it's okay to be frustrated at people you care about and who you're working with, and to express how you feel, and make sure that you are taking care of yourself as well. So yes, so for the record, it's all love, all the things. I'm also burnt out, stretched thin, at capacity, angry, and annoyed. Multiple things can be true at once. So hopefully we'll see some change, and hopefully these episodes finally go out, because once again I just haven't had time. We'll see, but that is my update. So I'm gonna go to bed and hopefully wake up early tomorrow, and hopefully go on a walk and have some time to get out of my head and not be in front of my laptop. That screen time on my laptop is probably ridiculous. It's like probably 12-13 hours a day. It's kind of crazy. Shout out to my boyfriend for giving me his like lumbar support back thing. That's been really helpful. Anyway, see you tomorrow. I appreciate that I keep making these and I haven't posted any yet. I'm starting to break out all along my chin. I usually don't have chin breakouts, so I don't know what all this is coming from. Listening through today. Today I started my day at 9:30 and had my first creative consulting strategy session this morning. It was really lovely. She's so good. I can't wait to bring so much business to her and refer so many friends to her. That was such a great conversation. And then afterwards did some work, and then caught up with a photographer that we're bringing on to help teach for the film photo workshop, and they were just such great energy. I'm so glad. Like, when they reached out to me, they like wrote out a long, thoughtful message about their qualifications and their excitement and like consideration, like potential to be considered. And I was like, yeah, we're gonna have to get you involved in some capacity. And it just worked really well. And speaking to them and like their energy, I'm like obsessed. So we had a great conversation, just kind of going through run through and like talking through ideas, making sure we reach the big goals. But I was like, it's you go with what makes you feel good. They already came to the call with a lesson plan right now. I was like, I'm obsessed. What did I do after that? I was working, doing different stuff, and then I must have had another call. No, my roommate's parents were in town, so I got to catch up with them, which was really lovely. Made some lunch. I had 3 meals today. Actually, my breakfast doesn't really count. It was like jam on toast. I need to put moisturizer on. Oh, it's embarrassing. Where was I going with this? Yes. Then I left for a gig with On and Northern Strong. So it was just photographing them doing a workout, which was like so chill. But it was a friend who organized it, and so I knew a couple people who were there. So it's always fun photographing people like you know. Afterwards, I came home, dropped off my camera bag, reading while I ate some dinner. It was just going back and forth between pasta and turkey sandwich, basically. Part of me doesn't want to go grocery shopping yet until my brother gets here, so then we can go grocery shopping together and he can pick out like what he wants. So I'm just kind of eating between whatever I have, because I haven't done like a full grocery shop in a while. And then came back, like I said, ate, and then left again for a friend's goodbye party. That was like marketed as a game night, but it wasn't clarified what it meant by game night, and it ended up being basketball.
like watching the finals, game 2. So some of us left, like two another girl and I left. And she actually gave me really good advice. She's a founder herself of her own business for the past 6 years. And she was like, yeah, I think it's so cool that you have like a creative consultant strategist, but also make sure that like you're taking time to like develop what you want your business to be and not kind of going what someone else tells you to do. She's like, there's always going to be people who give you advice, but you need to have time like to put your head down and like go somewhere else in a different environment or whatever and like think. And that she's so real for that, because that's really true. And I think there's a part of me that's kind of like, I just want someone to tell me everything I need to do and I'm gonna do it. But I really love the way that the consultant, I'm calling her a consultant, but I don't know if that's how she'll identify. She's like kind of testing this out with me. She's so good at pulling threads together of different stuff that I've worked on and like synthesizing it. So it's less so her telling me what to do, it's more so like her synthesizing and understanding what I do and naming them and functionally placing like ways that I can have outputs or projects or statements like align with all of that stuff. I know that's kind of vague and like wordy, but just trust. She's doing great. So I think it's also like her telling me what to do and more so like suggestions and helping framework and like workflow and all that stuff. So really do appreciate that. But also appreciate my friend's advice because she's so right. Because the part of me is like, I want someone to tell me what to do, like I was saying. It's nice to have that warning of hers in my head because I need to make sure that I'm not like giving up my autonomy of determining what I want to do with my life, you know? And then I came home and had some applesauce and was reading this book, like a fiction romance-y book, maybe? Fake fiction, young adult, I don't really know how you identify it. Now I'm going to bed. Yeah, so that was my day. So it was good. Overall, I'm feeling much better in terms of cadence. And I'm feeling much more, like, free, I guess, in a way. Now the thing is, once again, just waking up early. But I think I have, even with waking up at 9:30 days, like, I still feel pretty good. I think a lot of my time is no longer filled with fluff. And, like, there's a little more direction, kind of. And, like, it's really coming together. And I'm really excited to see in the next session what we further can identify, name, and have like actual action items for. Yeah, so that was that. But I will do my best to check in tomorrow, just in case I don't tomorrow. I'm a +1 for my boyfriend's friend's wedding brunch and after party, but then I have to leave directly, change, and go to an event that I'm photographing at Barclays at the Liberties game, and it's my friend's company has a suite. And they invited, like, a couple of people out there, like, important people, I guess, out there. Not I guess, I know what it is, but I'm not going to say it. But people out there, and they just want photography of the suite. So, it's really cool because I'm frequently in suites, especially during the U.S. Open. But, like, as a Digitech support person. So now I get to be in as a photographer, and then one day I'll be in a suite as a guest. So that'd be nice one day. I just want like free food. That's probably what I would do in a suite. I'd just like eat free food and like chill on the sofa while the game happens or whatever you're in a suite for. But so yeah, I was like, oh, that's so nice. I get to like take photos. I've been to Barclays before, also as a Digitech, so it'd be nice to take photos. But shout out to my friend for connecting me to that gig. Yeah. Yes, tomorrow, and then Sunday is a hike for work. So tomorrow will also be like spent finalizing final logistics, I'm realizing. So I think it's worth waking up early in the morning and kind of finalizing some stuff for that hike. And then we're on Monday. So yeah. I don't know, I just slapped myself. I put like acne cream, I forget that cream name. And then I didn't put like moisturizer on my face. because I wanted the acne thing to dry instead of get wiped off. So now I'm just gonna put some Vaseline on my face. It's just looking so dry. Okay. I probably won't check in tomorrow, but I will Sunday. So I'll see y'all Sunday at the latest.